Hello, this is Get Carter, and welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included Ranching Update Mark 2. So I did a couple of things off camera, quite a few things, but I'll go through all of that later. What I want to do right now is my volcano is about to erupt in 5 seconds. Now I set up a cooling solution that doesn't really work particularly well. So what I was planning to do with the volcano, I wanted to basically send cool liquid through water, not directly on top of the volcano, but just off to the side a little bit. I've got it set up so you need a exosuit to get into it, but basically with the intention of hopefully the pipes won't heat up too much and break. But the system I've set up it doesn't really work very well. So basically what I did is I'm just pumping, I should have used normal mesh tiles here but I didn't. I'm pumping hydrogen into here and then pumping the oil from this tank into here to cool down. It drops by about 5 degrees, I think, 47 to 42 currently. So that goes into this one, and then basically oil's on a loop from this tank going back over to here and going all the way through here, and basically what's it do? It's only cooling down by like 0.8 or 1 degree each time it goes through. And this thing now is, I think, has about a degree difference. So eventually I think it would cool things if it was just left. I reckon I would have been better off putting liquid in here, just because the cooling effect will be easier. It'll be able to cool the liquid more quickly, and then that'll cool the liquid in the pipes more quickly. I mean, eventually it would work, but I have a feeling the volcano is going to completely override that anyway. So I want to see what happens temperature wise. Ah, nothing. Hold on. So is it emitting gold or is it overpressure? Hold on. So if we what do we do? Deconstruct this. I didn't think it would. Should I tell someone to attack someone? Where are you even going? Well, I must have told you to attack someone. Oh no, I don't know. I don't know why you thought there was combat. Go on, do that, do that, do that. Yeah, so if you go there. Is that still erupts in 1.3 cycles? Ah! Alright, we'll just empty out a bit of this water. Or oil, water, and other things. What's going on? Alright, who did I get them to? Oh, you're dead. I think I did it because I was starving again. Alright, we've got to wait 1.3 cycles. I just want to leave it so there's a little bit of... Are you still going? A little bit of liquid. There we go. Basically just a couple of spaces and then I'll seal it back up. Oop, fall. That is a long fall time. I didn't think it was that much overpressure, but apparently it was. Come on, I want that to be empty. I don't know how long that'll take. Anyway, I'll leave it there for a little bit. What else did I do? So I did a fair few things. I'm pretty sure I've got the Slickster base all set up now. I actually ended up with one of the molten Slickster lava eggs, which is 91% complete. and pumping in a fair amount of carbon dioxide, so that all works fine. I don't think, yeah, there's already too many slicksters in there, I think. So you probably need a lot of slicksters to get a decent amount of oil production, because they're not really spitting out a lot right now, even with the high pressure. I had some food issues, 34,000, and I had some power issues. So what I did is I stuck 2 oil refineries there, and I've put a couple of petroleum generators there, just to basically help me, because the coal isn't getting delivered to the coal generators a lot. It is currently, but there seems to be long periods of time when it doesn't. Oh God, that's getting oxygen in there again. How? I think this is still from... I got the oxygen mixed up with the pipes, I think, and ended up getting oxygen in there. That's right, they'll just damage them a little bit. Doesn't matter. But yeah, there was issues with the coal generators, so I basically just threw in a couple of petroleum generators, which will give me more than enough power. Where are we? Yeah, there's heaps of power for it. And I'm chewing through a little bit of oil, but that's all good. It's not like we're going to use it all anyway. So, got the slicksters, the oil set up to do the generation. We had a bit of food because I was disabling the mealwoods, and then I'd end up with no food. And then have to desperately cook up some stuff. So what can we do? We should have fried mushrooms now, because you do those 3. I did a mushroom farm over here. Obviously it's only a little one, it was just to add a little bit more food. But we've got the slickster farm here. Not slickster, puffed farm here. Let's deconstruct you. And I'll put a normal one in there. So, yeah, slime's not an issue. I managed to get 1 morb in here. Now, I think the last video I did, I was having trouble when they were wrangled, getting them transported across. I've got one stuck here. A Drecklet, which is, I can't unbag. But they kept picking them up and then just dropping them. And I figured out in the end that was, I don't think there were any suits available, because I had to go from one environment over here, through there, and then into here. If there wasn't a suit available at the time, it was just dropping it back down. But I think if I just basically disabled the suit, then or disabled the checkpoint, then they could have done it. That doesn't matter. So it's got the puffs, got the mushroom farm set up. Apart from that, what else? Slicksters, more power. Ooh, when's this guy going? 0.8. So if we... I'll put that back now and we'll see what happens. See if it's still... It doesn't tell me if it's over pressure, does it? There's a little bit of room. We'll have a see. See what happens in 0.7 cycles. So what is that? 45. Yeah, so that's only losing 0.7. That's 46, going down to 41. That's 5. And the stuff's coming in at 44 and going out at 46. So it is picking up more heat there. It might also have something to do with the fact that we opened this up. Go on, do it. Construct it. 0.7 cycles. Yeah, where are we? And I set up the cool slush geyser, which I think I found in the last video. So if we had found this before, our water issues would have been easily solved. So currently I've got a pump and I'm just pumping that straight into the water filtration and just getting out clean water and then pumping it back up to here. This is obviously fairly cool, so that's being pumped back down to this here. Obviously I could also pump it straight into the bristle blossoms and grow more of those. But we've also got the problem of... is that on? You're not supposed to be... No, no. Hold on. We need to stop this pumping. That's what's pumping oxygen into the... that was what was pumping oxygen into the hydrogen generators. Because there was a lot of hydrogen up here and it was stifling the plants. So I set up a pump. Except it started pumping oxygen. And I think... yeah, there's oxygen in here now. Go. I want these done. I tell you what, deconstruct that wire. Once that's deconstructed, they can go back. Alright, do that switch and then they can go back. So yeah, with the cool slush geyser, it's... I think it'll erupt again shortly. But it releases a lot of water. I think with the 3 geysers as is, easily enough for us to be secure with our water. Come on, erupt. I'm curious to see what happens. Alright, so what's in there? Alright, so there's a lot less pressure in here. I just don't know if it will equate to anything. You're only 40. Yeah, you're not super hot. I don't know if you have to have some air blocks in order for the volcano to actually do anything. We'll find out soon enough. Critters are starving. Death. Yeah, so when I do the Draco enclosure next game, basically I'm just going to have one grooming station. I'm going to put the filter over here and the vent over here and basically have 3 more plants. I'm hoping with 3 more plants they can support 7 of the Dracos. But I'll find out when I rebuild them. There we go. You're not going to be starving anymore. Right, what do we got? Volcano erupts in 2. Alright, it's nearly done. But apart from that, I was running out of... what's it look like now? Yeah, I had a fairly large issue with oxygen in the base. This setup here just was not generating enough. Are you pumping or not? Why aren't you pumping? Oh, it's too warm. Oh, because it's just these 2 pumping. There we go. Yeah, but it wasn't oxygenating the... You're erupting yet? 59. It wasn't putting oxygen into the base fast enough because it had to cool down. So next time I think I'll see if I can find a way to cool it down faster. Just as a stopgap, I put another one in here just to make sure there was some oxygen generating. And put 2 Wheezewalts next to it, which is... there's a little bit of heat escaping, like up here. But you could probably get around that by putting maybe insulated tiles directly above it, and then that would force it, like keep the heat there. I don't know. But I still think like having it separated off is a good idea. But I'll probably do something differently. Alright, let's see if it's still... let's extract that and that. I don't think that'll do it in time. But... active period. Alright, so you're going to cut that and that. Still gonna do it. Ah, it's still idle. Alright, so obviously they need to have some sort of space in there. Where are you going down? Oh, yeah, that's fine. Doesn't matter. No one can go in and out of there anyway. Alright, that's still... Yeah, it's fine. It's still falling down. I don't really want to deconstruct that one because I'm wondering if too much will fall out. But it is still going out. Yeah, still going out. So at some point I'm sure there'll be a space here. And I'm assuming I'll be able to do it then. Let's maybe just get rid of you. How much food have I got? 60. Alright, so I got lots of food. The food tends to sort of... How much you got? 420. Let's do some buns. Increase and decrease a fair amount. We're going to have to... It took me forever to get this stuff in here, and now I have to get rid of it all. We'll leave you there. Right, we'll deconstruct that. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. So next time, I think, when I build the base, I will try to make it neater. This whole power grid was supposed to be temporary. I was going to move it all once I built out more of the base, but it never ended up that way. I just kept building it. And it's just a mess of wires and everything. It's really just spaghetti. So I think next base I'm going to try to be a little bit more organised. And being spaghetti, it meant that I was just trying to figure out what was connected to what and how much was on what. Really was quite, you go 9. Not good. Yeah, what are they at? They're just woken up. Yeah, so we've got our ups in 8. Just got to take enough water out of here that it... Where are you going to go? Yeah, so you're making that stuff, which is good. I'm hoping someone will come along shortly and... You'll do. Right, you can be reached. There we go. There we go. Now I've probably let too much out. Come on, come on. Oh, serious? Ah, it's all sticking. I'm wondering if it's a case of the volcano can't be covered in water. Yeah, I think I'm going to miss the cycle again. 0.6, 0.6. Come on, come on, come on. That's not going to do it. 0.5. Alright, so this is still leaking out, but I think because it's stuck. More to the point, I'm going to deconstruct that and that. Do that on a 9. Took me forever to get this water in here, and all I'm doing is trying to get rid of it. I don't need to do you, just need to do you. Alright, so it's still covered up. Oh, that made a mess. Is any water coming out? Well, that water is coming out. Alright, maybe we'll see what happens now. It's undercover, or underwater, so I want to see if it will actually erupt. Erupting at 0.2, we will find out. But otherwise, the base is all sorted. I did some more hatches here because I was running out of coal. So, how are you guys expecting? How many eggs they got? That would be better. Eggs, lots. Yeah, so they all, I was running out of coal, so apart from mining it, I also tried to increase the hatches. Alright, 56. This will work. If not, at least I learned something new. If it's in water, it won't go. 20, 19. Ah, it did do that. Ah, so it must just need air tiles. If it's got an air tile, it'll do it. So I'll do that. Ah, so the water should be... things should be heating up quite substantially. Oof. Yeah, everything's heading up quite substantially. 41, 40. Oh, they're asleep. No! Ah, that's got that too. Come on, come on, come on! Seal it back up. Seal it back up, please. Yeah, so is it going to go... yeah, erupt to 1.3. Alright, so I'm just curious. I'm going to put it back. And I'm going to see if it'll erupt once everything's back in place. Alright, so... that generated a fair amount of heat. But it should actually go away for the most part. Alright, so there's a lot of heat coming out of here. What have we got? 50. So if I did something similar to this with better cooling, I'd probably want to get a Wheezewort sitting right here just to get rid of any heat. So what's your temperature? So that refined metal's only at... yeah, so that's not very hot. I thought it came out hotter. Production period. Alright, so basically, theoretically that gold came out at 2600. But because it went straight into water, it looks like it's cooled right down. So I think with a better cooling system, where the oil being pumped into it actually is a decent temperature. What are you at? Refined gold. Yeah, so that's... you've got no power. Why have you got no power? It's because I disconnected you. That'll be fair enough. What do you want? Let's get some power and what do I want? Priority system. Oh, it's already at 9. No. Alright. So this is cooled right down. Obviously the water's hotter than it was. We've got oil coming in at 43 and going out at 45. So that's still not too bad. We'll see whether it'll erupt again and what it comes out at. But if we had some decently cool stuff in there, I reckon that would work pretty well. So maybe covering the volcano in water might make it switch to solid straight away, because I think it comes out, yeah, it comes out liquid. I don't know, we'll see. It's all sealed in now, so we'll see what happens. The temperature out here is cooling down for the most part. So I think the cold biome will actually sort of control the rest of that. Is anything bad happening? No. No, we got food. Should we get a bit of barbecue? Apparently I must have... never understood that. Must have killed some people. Or killed some animals. We've got a whole heap of hatches running around there. So how long have you got? So we'll have another little double check. 0.4 cycles. So when I play next time, I think I'll still try to keep a relatively small base that's got oxygen in it, and then use the suits to go outside of that. It was a bit tricky here. I didn't. It's probably still, yeah. There's still barely any oxygen in here. But when I set this up and got them to sleep in there, I didn't even think about the fact that I haven't really got oxygen going into here. And when I did put a vent in to put oxygen into this area, there was issues with the rest of the base not getting oxygen. So basically, the things I did, I gotta get out of the thing. I put the oxygen to go out of the half of it to go into the base, and the other half into the suits. You're going to back up on hydrogen at some point, I'm sure. Now what was I going to do with you? So what I wanted to do is do the element sensor. And do automation for you. And then turn that off. Just so basically if it detects hydrogen, it'll pump hydrogen. Otherwise it won't do anything. Now the other thing I'm going to try to do next time is go into the slime biomes earlier. In fact, straight away if I have to. I did some playing around on a separate map where I went in without the exosuits or any of that. And I managed to live as long as I'm careful to not let them go in too much. So for like this bit, what would be preferable is to basically just have one fire pole going all the way down to the bottom, and then have your ladders basically zigzagging down, so when they're climbing up they don't they're not going to drop anything, and maybe have the fire pole offset sort of by one going up in case they're coming back down from the top and they drop it, it doesn't go all the way down to the very bottom of the map. So maybe something like that. Where are we? So you're going in at 45. So they're still cooling down a little bit. You're... Alright, so you're erupting. So steam there is 167. Now what's this coming out at? So in effect it's becoming water. That gold's coming in at 200. Oh, it's gone up. 225. Yeah, let's speed it up. So that is... there we go. So at a guess, yeah, so it's converting it all to steam. But then obviously it eventually cools by enough that it reverts back to water. You got there. And it's already down to 240, 230. Alright, so I think that, I reckon that's a good way to handle it. Especially if you can pump in more colder liquids, even colder oil, and use probably the radiant pipes to make sure that there's a decent heat exchange. What the heck is that? What's so hot? Oh, 46 crude oil. So what's that refined metal? Yeah, so it's already close to under 100. So that looks to be a pretty good way of dealing with the gold, or dealing with the volcanoes. Yeah, 113. So that's easily a safe temperature, and if we say deconstruct that one, come on, deconstruct it, do it. It's nearly their bedtime. That's right, I just keep them awake all night. They can do my bidding. Let's just get a few more frost buns. I'm hoping the next update has some automation for the food. I think it does, in terms of cooking. Now you can do it. There we go. Right, so if we do that, it's a 9. The other thing I need to do is automate I didn't actually build any of this, of the conveyor railing. Oh, you need refined stuff. Which would have been helpful. See, look, there's no coal in here. After a while, I think when they've got too many jobs, they don't tend to deliver the coal. So getting the auto delivery system for the coal from basically the hatches to the so they've got coal in here, but they don't put it in the generators. But yeah, getting the coal delivery automated, I think, is important. Now I'm wondering if they shouldn't, if the steam's got nowhere to go, basically it should all equal out. Basically it converts to steam and then it switches back to water. Although I'm curious, if this had more crude oil in it, would it switch to petroleum? I don't know. Maybe next time I'll try to ensure that there's just crude oil in here. Maybe leave the top layer without the oil. So just leave that, leave the top layer available and see what happens with the volcanoes. So I'll have it one more time. I'll just have a look to see what happens. Refine metal, refine gold, 9. So what are you at? You're at 63 and you're at 67. 67? Yeah. Which is not too hot. That's easy to cool down. And this is only at... Yes, that's natural gas. So I don't know whether you could set something up to be able to pump out the gas or whether it'd be too difficult. I'll see what happens next eruption. But I'm curious, if you left this long enough, what would happen. But you can always add in means to put more liquid in. Whatever liquid you're using, whether it's crude oil or water. Or maybe one of the other gases liquefied. So you're coming in at 46, you're going out at 44, you're doing 43, 38. See, this is getting a lot cooler. These started out at like above 50, I think. And this water, the actual oil in the tank, what's it sitting at? 39. Yeah, so I think the system works, it just would work better if this was liquid. What's granite? Go there. Yeah, so the next one is 0.3. Yeah, so hopefully in the next base I'll be able to put together a far more coordinated base, because quite frankly this is a mess. But we do have our water's going up. Our water technically here would be going down, because I think these ones are going to be idle now, aren't they? Oh no, it's still going. But these have a 64 cycles active out of every 124, so... Oh no, you're going. So we've got lots of... Those three geysers combined, we've got lots of water. Water's not an issue. Alright, so we got... That's done, that's done, that's got power. Did I forbid you? I did. Idiot. Although this is... No, it's erupting in 57. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Get in there. Get some gold. Get some gold. No. That's right. Someone will do it. There we go. There we go. Alright, so what temperature is that going to be at? So all that gold's coming out at 500, 500. I'm wondering if you'd have to use water. So that when it steams up, basically it reverts back to water once the steam cools down. Because this isn't gonna. This is natural gas here. Is it all? Oh, that's steam. So the steam will go back to water. But if we're generating natural gas, that's good. So what have we got? 320. So the problem might be that they're going to come in and they're going to get 320 degree gold. But what you could do is basically lock it off. Do that. Lock it off until the eruptions are finished. So after its active period, basically next dormancy 29 cycles. Yeah, so it'll be a while. I mean, obviously you can go in there and just quickly grab gold if you need to, but basically block it off once all the cycles are finished, then go in and get it. But we've now got the 1,300 kilograms refined gold, and it's already down to 49.5. What's that at? This obviously is up a fair bit more. And chances are that'll be, so what's that going up to? 48. Yeah, so that's taken 4 degrees out every time it goes through. And you can see here, this is, I think, heating up. That's what do we got? That's coming 38, and when it goes into the pump, 42. So that's going up 2. This is getting hotter. It's coming in 43. Still going out 35. And this pump's coming in at 48 degrees, and then it's going out at 45. So it's losing 3 degrees of heat going through there, picking up 4 as it goes through. What are you at? So this is going to erupt again. I think it is slowly heating up, but if it was cooler to start with, if I'd have set this up earlier and made it cooler, I think this is a really good way to go for the gold volcanoes. Why are you suffocating? Who's going to die? You. Yeah, it's fine. There's no oxygen up here. Why are you doing that? Can you disable that building, please? Now, there's an outhouse up here because what happened? I ran out of power and this thing stopped working. So this is a pretty good system as long as you don't lose power. Otherwise, your toilet's back up and then things start to get messy. Alright, so we're going to leave it here. Overall, I mean, the base technically can survive. It's got all the water it needs. We're generating slime. We can expand our mushroom farms. We've got plenty of hatches and heaps of igneous rock to feed them. We're not going to run out of rock anytime soon. And chances are, even if we did at that stage, we'd be able to just feed them normal food, like meal lice or whatever we're using. We've still got heaps of dirt. What have we got? 100 tons of dirt. Although, am I using that fairly quickly? Don't know. That's right. We could start doing fertilizer, start getting natural gas. There are probably a whole bunch more geysers on the map that we haven't discovered. We've got our slicksters. So, I mean, we've got... what have we got? That's petroleum. Yeah, hey, there you are. Little fella. Yeah, so we got Morton slickster there. Haven't got any of the long-haired ones, I don't think. But all we have to do is mess with the temperatures. It's like breeding them down here. Lots of diamond. Yeah. So we're going to leave it there. So I'll wait till the next update comes out, which should be interesting. Might be fun to build the way up to the surface and basically have a continual supply of materials coming in, and hopefully not damaging the base and getting stuff protected when the meteor showers happen. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next update.